Right now to Project Drive Safer. It's our effort to curb reckless driving.
Yeah, we started this initiative in October, and recently Shaun Gallagher sat down with 3 of our community partners to see how it's going and to discuss potential solutions.
My name is Mabel Lamb. I am the Executive Director of the Sherman Park Community Association and resident of Sherman Park.
My name is Celia Jackson. I'm a volunteer and I work with the Coalition for Safe Driving, MKE.
And I'm Steve O'Connell. I'm also a resident of Sherman Park, and I'm the chair of the Sherman Park Reckless Driving Task Force.
Where do you feel like specifically we've hit the mark, or where do you feel like we've missed the mark?
You've been raising awareness, and it's really been bringing it to people's attention. So I think that really is clear. I think as far as missing the mark, I think that there are other areas, other tough subjects that really do need to be explored.
What more can be done in Milwaukee to try to change the behaviors of the driver?
The behavior that we see is symptomatic of something else. And a lot of times what we do is we just want to deal with the behavior, but we don't really deal with what is actually driving the behavior. And I really believe that there needs to be some emphasis on what is driving that behavior.
So what more do you think the good drivers can do to try to change the behaviors of reckless drivers?
Getting to the schools and starting to talk to the younger individuals, 4th graders, etc. They themselves reminding mom and dad, Mom, you're going a little fast. Mom, maybe you shouldn't be passing in the right. They were talking about at school, you don't pass in the parking lane. That type of thing. So more education, even in the community.
Are there any other stories that we've done that you know, either it made you feel something, whether it's something you didn't know or surprised you or something that you were like, okay, finally, yes, somebody's talking about this?
I guess I wouldn't say the story, you know, or a particular story, but I think it's the journey of the community connecting with the television station and creating the awareness. And I think from that we will create a strategy. And I think that's the bigger story, is that how does the community get engaged, tap into elected officials, public officials, to really come up with some synergy.
Is that ultimately kind of the big solution, is that this whole project, Drive Safer, us trying to, you know, shine a light on this, is to try to, you know, bring more people in, because more people would, in theory, bring a solution.
MPS has MPS Drive through the rec department, and that's pretty much working with youth, teenagers that are getting their license for the first time. Is it possible to have some of those rec programs to reach out to people who didn't get driver's education to learn the rules of the road?
A lot of the laws are already on the books. You're not supposed to speed. You're supposed to have a driver's license. You're not supposed to have dark tinted windows. You're supposed to have a license plate. So those kinds of things, getting people to be more compliant. And I think over time, because that compliance piece hasn't been there, people have just said, oh, well, nobody's gonna pull me over. I don't have a plate. And they've been driving 2 or 3 years with no plates or no registrations.
Well, the other thing is intervention, though.
Yeah.
You know, how could that one gentleman with 40 speeding tickets, why haven't we intervened earlier to see what the issue is?
And do you feel like, you know, what you all are doing through the Sherman Park group is something that can be replicated in other parts of the city?
We've banded together because 5 of the hot spots were in our community, 5 of the 10. So we needed to address it because it's a quality of life issue for our community. I would love to see other communities come to the table, you know, as a larger community group, so that all voices can be heard.
We're all on the streets. Whether you're a pedestrian, a bicyclist, a motorcyclist, you're on the county bus, you know, you're driving. I mean, people are on the streets in some form or fashion. And so, you know, it impacts all of us.
What is the 1, 2, 3 things that you'd like to see improved upon in order to make you feel like, okay, reckless driving is down?
If I saw people traveling by bike in our neighborhood, that's when I would know that it was okay for people. You know, it would be a lot safer because people don't ride their bikes.
Just getting more people out walking, that would be it's a human thing. just walking around the neighborhood saying hi to each other and getting to know folks.
The way it occurs for me is an owner. To have someone who actually owns and takes responsibility for pulling everybody together in the creation of a plan and the implementation of a plan, and giving all of us a little bit of a part to play in making this all happen. And if we can do that and be in communication with the community at large, I think that that would be huge.
And as noted there, we all have a responsibility to make the roads safer. And I recently went out and asked Milwaukee drivers how they think we can solve this reckless driving problem. You can see that story tomorrow night on TMJ4 News at 6. And we'd love to hear your ideas too. So scan the QR code right here on your screen. It'll take you to projectdrivesafer.com, and there you can send us a message.